Hey there YouTube. DIMO, Decentralized Infrastructure of Moving Objects. It's this device that plugs into your car and feeds data back to the DIMO project. They also have a marketplace where you can buy and use services of partners they work with or advertise for and get rewarded in their DIMO points in exchange. Plus, for your data, they pay you out in DIMO too. They have two models currently. One is the AutoPi, little box that plugs into your OBD2 reader with a pigtail that comes off of it, and it runs on LTE. And the other one is the Macaron, which is a tiny little device that plugs directly into the OBD reader and does pretty much the same thing, but you don't earn as much rewards. It costs a little bit less, it's less intrusive, but it also runs on helium. It's hit and miss on connectivity there. Anyway, DIMO came out with this brand new model that's up for sale, well, for pre-sale today, called the R1 or LTE R1. And it's supposed to be their newest, latest, greatest flagship device that does all the things that the AutoPi does, but at a fraction of the price and in that Macaron tiny footprint. Let's take a closer look at this. Right now, all I have is spec sheets because the unit's still on pre-sale. In fact, it just went pre-sale today, on the day that you're watching this at least. So I don't have a physical device in my hands to compare to what I have, but let's look at what they're promising. Well, here it is, the LTE R1. Tiny little footprint, probably about the half the size of your phone. If it's anything like the size of the Macaron, it's tiny. I guess you can take that as it will. Let's talk about the footprint in a minute. Let's look at what its specs are first. It says it's compact, easy to install, and connects directly to your car's OBD2 port. No cables or adhesive required. One thing I didn't like about that footprint is that exact thing. It plugged directly into the OBD reader, and on my truck, the OBD reader was somewhat exposed under the dash. It just stuck out just so much that if I got in the truck wrong, I could kick it or move it, potentially break it. So what I ended up doing was removing the OBD port from its little bracket on the truck and plugging in the unit and then kind of tucking it up under the dash, which is still an option, I guess. That was just my experience. It is designed to simplify connection between your vehicle and the DIMO network for real-time incentives and rewards. Some of its key features and improvements: wide vehicle compatibility. So now it says it supports vehicles from 2003 and beyond, with a 50% increase in compatible models compared to the previous devices that I think was 2008 and above. Improved vehicle detection makes setup seamless, while automated VIN detection reduces errors. Why is this important? Well, when I was setting up the AutoPi, I had nothing but trouble trying to get it to connect to the app and then connect to the network. I had to do updates and upgrades, and I actually had to work with support to get it onboarded. The Macaron was a lot simpler of a process. It just pretty much worked. You went through all the menus and it found it rather quickly. I'm hoping this is along that same page. So it sounds like they identified some of the issues that were happening early on with the AutoPi deployments. Maybe they fixed them. Advanced car health data. The expanded library of car signals gives you deeper insights into your car's health. A lot of the information that it provides about the vehicle aren't necessarily relevant to me. It shows engine load, it shows acceleration rate. I do like that it's an OBD scanner. So you got that check engine light pop up on your dash. You can run a code right from the app. You still have a process to go through, but it's not a separate physical device or take it to AutoZone and have them do it. You can just do it in your driveway. You'll notice here that it says competitively priced at $169. That's pretty sweet considering the AutoPi is like $350 and the Macaron is, I think, $100. And I think that's a really good sweet spot for them, price point wise. Now let's take a closer look at comparing the R1 versus the AutoPi and the Macaron in a cool chart they provided. All right, so we can see our first column here is the DIMO LTE. That's the new one that they're putting out now, the R1. Next to that is the Macaron, which is the small little compact device that's out there now. And then the classic, which is the AutoPi. Price point, we've got $170, $100, $350. So again, I think this is a really good sweet spot. Weekly rewards. this is interesting. When I had both AutoPi and Macaron, Macaron didn't get squat. AutoPi got like 3 times the rewards, but it was also 3 times the cost. So as of right now, late September 2024, I'm getting about 30 DIMO tokens per week currently. I'm on a level 2. The longer that you keep the DIMO connected, the higher tiers that you get to, and the higher the tiers you're in, the more rewards you get. I was actually almost in tier 4 when I wrecked my Kia, or a kid blew through a stoplight and wrecked my Kia for me. Thanks, buddy. So by the time I got a new vehicle and swapped it over to the new vehicle, I had lost that streak of that consistently reporting in. So I started from scratch. Anyway, I'm on tier 2 now, a couple of weeks away from tier 3, and I'm making about 30 DIMO per week. And it looks like for a fraction of the cost, you'll be able to get those same rewards on this new device. That's pretty sweet. So the next category is car data, excellent, good, and good. I get what they're getting at here. They say this has excellent car data because it has a wider variety of vehicles that it can now pull from. Considering vehicles as old as 2003 can now be compatible with the R1, the LTE R1 model. And it says here that now it supports 20 additional automakers and 50 additional car models of existing automakers on the network. That's pretty sweet. Let's look at this next rundown. Size comparison, compact and large. Again, it's probably the size or essentially the same shell as the Macaron, which is, it is really tiny. I wish I had something here that I could compare it to. Maybe a little bit bigger than this, which again, in my opinion, can be a positive, but also a negative depending on your vehicle. All right, next is the kicker and the part that I'm excited about. LTE with 2G fallback versus Helium IoT and just plain LTE. So the LTE network that you get when you buy an AutoPi, you get, I think, 1 year of connectivity free with it or something like that. Maybe it's 3 years. I thought the Macaron came with 1 year and the AutoPi came with 3 years, and now the DIMO LTE comes with 2 years. Let me know down in the comments if you know better, if the AutoPi does come with 3 years of connectivity or just 1. I don't remember offhand. I want to say 3. Either way, you get 2 years of that LTE connectivity included as part of that $169 purchase. And with the 2G fallback, I guess that would come in handy a lot when you're outside of larger areas or cell coverage, really, just to ensure that you're always connected. One of the other big features about DIMO itself is that it's a tracking device. You lose your car, it gets stolen, or something happens to it, you're trying to track it down. You can find it on the map, on the app. So if it's outside of connectivity range, that would definitely impact that feature. And then finally, let me get my big head out of the way here. We're looking at this piece here. So cable adhesives not needed, required. Guess I could see how they say cable is required to plug the AutoPi to your OBD reader. It's a separate cable that comes with it. Adhesive, maybe. I use zip ties. Half of my life is held together with zip ties and hope. So if you're getting into DIMO right now, this is gonna be the way to go, in my opinion. If I were jumping into it now or buying it for a new vehicle, I would get the R1 over the AutoPi. The Macaron, in my opinion, is not even applicable to me. I'm outside the city. I'm outside of Helium, IoT network connectivity. For me, the Macaron's not even on the table. So between the AutoPi and the R1, I would take the R1 if it's gonna deliver everything that it says. It is on pre-order. Everybody knows how we feel about pre-orders these days, but this company's been around for a while. They've pushed out successful products in the past. It's not gonna be a rug pull. It's not a scam. They're just putting it out for pre-sale. It looks like they integrate with existing fleet management tools when you connect a fleet of any size to DIMO. So what's this come down to? What are we getting at here? The R1 is the way to go. That's their new flagship model, probably gonna replace AutoPi completely. What do I think about this? I think this is fantastic. This is what they needed. There was a big price gap, a big technology gap between one and the other. I think the Macaron was on the right track, but that Helium network just killed it for me. And I think for a lot of people, Helium's great and it's getting pushed out worldwide, but it's not as connected as Verizon or AT&T, right? What do you think about this new DIMO device, the LTE R1? Is this something that you would buy? Leave a comment down below. If you made it this far in the video and you learned something today, smash that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. And if this is the kind of video that you enjoy watching, consider subscribing for more like it. And of course, thanks for watching.